People think Halloween is just costumes, candy, and jokes about ghosts. But the real horror doesn't come from movies, it comes from people and things that should not exist, yet somehow they do. Here are 6 true stories that happened on Halloween night. Story 1. The Man Under the Bed. A 14-year-old girl named Kelly went trick-or-treating and came home early because she felt sick. Her parents were still outside, so she went to bed alone. But as she tried to sleep, she heard breathing coming from under her bed. She froze. Too terrified to move, she slowly reached for her phone and texted her dad, "Someone is in my room." Her dad ran home, burst into the room, and lifted the bed skirt. Under it was a man, holding a knife, smiling. He had been tracking her the entire night. Story 2. The Silent Trick-or-Treater. A couple was handing out candy when a child in a ghost costume showed up at their door. White sheet, black holes for eyes. They dropped candy into his bag. But he didn't leave. He just stood there, staring. The husband laughed awkwardly. "Okay, buddy, time to go." The kid tilted his head, dropped the candy bag on the ground, and ran into the darkness. Curious, they opened the bag. Inside wasn't candy, it was a dead crow. They called the police and found out a child had died years before, hit by a drunk driver while wearing that exact same costume. Story 3. The Whisper in the Pumpkin Patch. A farmer in Wisconsin set up a Halloween attraction in his pumpkin field. People came to take photos during the night, but one evening, a group of teenagers claimed they heard someone whispering from inside a giant pumpkin. The farmer laughed, cut open the pumpkin. Inside was a human skull. An autopsy later revealed it belonged to a missing man who disappeared 5 years earlier. Story 4. The Last Candy. In 2013, a woman named Sarah was babysitting 2 kids on Halloween. She told them only one more piece of candy before bed. They agreed, but when she came back, the boy said, "We didn't take it." The girl whispered, "The man in the hallway did." Sarah looked toward the hallway, no one there. She checked the security camera and froze. A tall figure, pale face, standing in the hallway, staring at the children. They were never alone. Story 5. The Costume That Wasn't a Costume. At a Halloween party, a man came dressed as a surgeon, covered in fake blood. People thought his outfit was amazing, realistic, and terrifying. He didn't speak, just walked around, staring at everyone. Hours later, someone noticed the blood was still wet. Police were called and they discovered the uniform wasn't fake. He was a real wanted murderer. Story 6. The Final Knock. An elderly woman lived alone, and every Halloween, she left a bowl of candy on her porch with a sign, "Please take one." But last year, she heard knocking at exactly 3 a.m., not on her door, but on her bedroom window. Slow, steady, 3 knocks. She was too terrified to move. The next morning, she checked the window. There were 3 fingerprints made of dried blood. The police tested it, but the results said the fingerprints did not belong to any human. So tonight, when you hear a knock, before you open the door, ask yourself, are you sure it's just a trick-or-treater?